If I asked you what it takes to build generational wealth, what would you say? Endless hustle, relentless networking. You have been lied to. Society teaches you to burn yourself out chasing money. And this is why millions of men work themselves into an early grave while still dying completely broke. The titans of industry knew a truth that the masses refuse to believe. Wealth is not chased. Wealth is magnetized. It is the natural byproduct of a mind operating on a specific disciplined frequency. You do not get what you want in this life. You get what you are. And until you elevate your dominant thoughts, physical labor means absolutely nothing. Stay with me. I will show you how to tune your mind to the frequency of absolute abundance. Important note, this is timeless wisdom. Read the description below this video to aid you in achieving the optimum results. There is a specific kind of stuck that you know all too well. You work hard. You read the books. You set the goals. You put in the hours while the rest of the world sleeps. And yet the breakthrough you were promised never seems to arrive. It feels as though you are driving with the emergency brake pulled tight. You watch others pass you by. They seem to attract success with zero friction, while you fight for every single inch. It makes you furious. I am here to tell you that this is not a lack of effort. You do not have a motivation problem. You have a programming problem. Deep within the architecture of your subconscious mind, there is an outdated script. It is running on a loop. It quietly sabotages every conscious step you take toward wealth and peace. It is the invisible enemy. Until you rewrite that script, every empire you set out to build will eventually collapse under the weight of your unseen fears. Your mind is like a tireless contractor. It does exactly what it is told to do. It does not argue with you. It does not judge your instructions. It simply takes the blueprints you hand it and begins to build. If you hand it blueprints of anxiety, it will build a reality of chaos. If you hand it blueprints of poverty, it will ensure your bank account stays empty. You are literally commissioning your own struggle. Most men spend their entire lives as drifters. The drifter wakes up and immediately reacts to the world around him. He checks his phone. He reads the news. He allows external circumstances to dictate his emotional state. His mind is a dumping ground for the fears of other people. He wonders why his life feels completely out of control. It is because he has surrendered the throne of his own mind. He has left the gates wide open for anyone to enter. But you are not meant to be a drifter. You were meant to be the sovereign commander of your reality. The Creator does not react to the morning. He commands it. He wakes up and dictates exactly what frequency his mind will operate on for the rest of the day. He understands that his thoughts are not just fleeting images in his head. Thoughts are literal forces of nature. They are physical units of energy that go out into the ether and magnetize their physical equivalents. This is the most powerful lesson ever recorded. What you think, you will get. It is a law as real and unforgiving as gravity. If you step off a building, you will fall. Gravity does not care. The law of the mind operates in the exact same ruthless manner. It does not care if you work hard. It does not care if you have good intentions. If your dominant mental frequency is tuned to lack, you will experience lack. You can work 100 hours a week, but if your subconscious mind believes you are poor, you will remain poor. This is why your physical efforts have felt so hollow. You have been fighting to change the reflection in the mirror without changing the object casting the shadow. The physical world is just a mirror. It only reflects what is happening inside the architecture of your mind. If you want to change the reflection, you must change the source. And changing the source requires a level of discipline that terrifies the average man. The masses want a quick fix. They want a lottery ticket or an accidental windfall. But luck is a myth created by drifters to explain the success of the Creator. The 1% do not wait for luck. They manufacture it by controlling their thoughts. Think about your dominant thoughts over the last 24 hours. What has been occupying the space between your ears? Was it fear of the future? Was it anger over a past mistake? Was it a deep sense of unworthiness? Every single one of those thoughts was a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. The soil does not care what you plant. It will grow poisonous weeds just as enthusiastically as it will grow golden wheat. Your mind is currently an overgrown garden of weeds, and you are wondering why you are starving. You must become the ruthless gatekeeper of your mind. You must stand at the door of your consciousness and inspect every thought. If a thought does not serve your ultimate vision, you must destroy it. You cannot afford the luxury of a negative thought. It is the most expensive thing you will ever own. It costs you your future. It costs you your legacy. It costs you the life you were meant to live. The drifter allows his mind to wander. The creator dictates its path. You must realize that every complaint is a command for more of what you do not want. When you complain about how hard things are, your subconscious hears a direct order. It says, "Yes, Master, I will make things harder." When you focus on your debts, your mind goes to work to create more debt. This is the invisible mechanism running your life. But the moment you take control of this mechanism, everything shifts. The heavy doors that were slammed in your face suddenly swing open. The opportunities that seemed impossible suddenly arrive at your feet. People call it a miracle, but you will know it is simply the law of the mind in action. You are aligning yourself with the rhythm of the universe. But before we get there, you need to understand the architecture of your own mind. The universe works by law, not by clock. And the most fundamental law of all is the law of vibration. Everything in the physical world is essentially vibrating energy. Your thoughts are not just empty clouds floating in your head. They are highly organized frequencies of power. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years studying the most powerful men on earth. He did not look for their business strategies. He looked for their mental architecture. And he discovered one absolute truth that changed everything. The mind is a factory. It will manufacture exactly what you design on the drafting board of your conscious awareness. It never rests. The drifter completely ignores this factory. He leaves the doors unlocked and the heavy machines running without a master. The consumer waits, consumes, and reacts. But the creator decides, initiates, and leads. The masses allow the outside world to program their minds. They watch the news and they absorb the fear. They speak to negative people and inherit poverty. Stop what you are doing and listen. Truly listen. The drifter is entirely shaped by external forces. He is just a leaf blowing in the cold wind. When the economy drops, he panics. When a problem arises, he plays the victim. He believes that life is something that happens to him. He never realizes that life is entirely responding to his internal state. This is the tragic fate of the drifter. He wants to be wealthy, but his mind is terrified of money. He desires ultimate freedom, but his dominant thoughts are locked in a prison of debt. The subconscious is a tireless contractor. It builds exactly what you instruct it to before sleep. And the drifter goes to sleep every night worrying about his unpaid bills. You cannot cheat this law. You cannot desire abundance while radiating the frequency of scarcity. The universe does not hear what you say. It only hears what you are. If you operate from a place of desperation, you will magnetize more things to be desperate about. This is why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It is law, just like gravity. Now, let me make this plain. You must stop identifying with the drifter. You are watching this because you are an architect of destiny. You are a creator. And a creator operates on an entirely different plane of existence. He does not react to his environment. He dictates it. He builds a massive fortress around his mind and becomes the sovereign commander. The creator possesses a definite chief aim. He knows exactly what he wants out of his life. He does not scatter his mental energy in 100 different directions. He focuses it into a single blinding laser beam. He holds that vision in his mind with absolute certainty. He does not beg the universe for favors. He commands his reality through relentless faith. What is controlling your mind today? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it the opinions of small-minded men? You must eradicate these mental viruses immediately. Drifting is the ultimate enemy. A wrong decision is better than no decision at all. The Creator forces His will upon the physical world. He makes a firm choice, and He demands that reality conform to His standard. Think of the conscious mind as the captain of a massive ship. The subconscious mind is the engine room deep below the deck. The engine room does not know where the ship is going. It does not see the violent ocean. It only follows the orders yelled down from the captain. If the captain yells to go left, the massive engines push the heavy ship to the left. If the captain is drunk and screaming conflicting orders, the ship will spin in circles and crash into the rocks. This is exactly what happens when you entertain conflicting thoughts. You want massive success, but you secretly fear failure. You want wealth, but you secretly resent rich people. You are sending conflicting coordinates to the engine room of your reality. You must align your captain and your engine room. This requires you to become the mental gatekeeper. You must fiercely guard the doors of your perception. Do not allow anyone to dump their mental garbage into your quiet sanctuary. You must protect your focus with your life, because your focus is literally creating your life. Every thought is a powerful seed. Every action is water, and your physical reality is the harvest. Look at your current life right now. It is the exact harvest of the thoughts you planted 5 years ago. If you do not like the harvest, you must stop complaining about the soil. You must completely change the seed. And changing the seed means stripping away every limiting belief society handed to you. You must understand that fear is not real. It is a phantom. It is a dark shadow created by a mind that has forgotten its own power. Fear only exists when you focus on what you do not want. The master of fate never focuses on the obstacle. He only looks at the final destination. He walks through the dark valleys with cold calmness because he knows the ultimate law. When you finally grasp this concept, your entire physiology changes. You stop walking with your head down. You stop speaking with a quiet voice. You act as if nothing is impossible because nothing is when you truly believe. You step into the shoes of the 1%. You stop waiting for circumstances to magically improve. You improve the circumstances yourself. This is the defining difference between the master and the victim. The victim asks why this terrible thing is happening to him. The master asks what this challenge is teaching him. He uses every failure as raw data to refine his vision. He knows that temporary defeat is just the universe testing his resolve. He passes the test by refusing to lower his frequency. It is time to step out of the shadows. It is time to recognize the immense power vibrating within your own skull. The thoughts you choose today will become the physical walls of your home tomorrow. They will become the numbers in your bank account. They will become the legacy you leave behind. Choose them with absolute ruthless precision and unwavering belief. Let us look to the example of Andrew Carnegie. How did a man with no education and no money build the largest steel empire in history? It was not luck. He used a specific mental protocol that you can replicate tonight. Carnegie arrived in America as a starving immigrant. He had no powerful connections. He possessed no hidden family wealth. Yet he understood a secret that most men will never learn. He knew that physical hustle without mental alignment is completely useless. Carnegie did not build his empire with his hands. He built it in the silent chambers of his mind long before the steel was ever poured. He held a definite chief aim. He visualized his ultimate success with terrifying clarity. He became a magnetic force. Opportunities and capital simply gravitated toward him. He acted as if he was already a titan, while his pockets were completely empty. The drifter looks at Carnegie and calls it a lucky break, but the 1% know the absolute truth. Carnegie simply programmed his subconscious mind to execute a flawless command. This is not just mystic philosophy. This is biological law. Modern neuroscience has finally caught up to the ancient wisdom that titans have used for centuries. Deep inside your brain stem, there is a bundle of nerves called the RAS. That stands for the Reticular Activating System. It is the ultimate gatekeeper of your biological reality. Your brain is bombarded with millions of bits of information every single second. If you processed all of it, you would instantly go insane. The RAS acts as a massive filter. It deletes 99% of the physical world. It only allows information to enter your conscious awareness if it matches your internal programming. It is a biological bouncer. If you constantly think about your debts, your RAS receives a direct order. It assumes that debt is highly important to you, so it filters your reality to show you more debt, more lack, and more insurmountable problems. It literally blinds you to the wealth-generating opportunities that are sitting right in front of your face. You become blind to abundance. But when you change the program, your biology immediately shifts. When you lock on to a definite chief aim, your RAS goes to work for you. Suddenly, you start noticing conversations that lead to capital. You see gaps in the market that no one else can see. The opportunities were always there. You just lack the biological frequency to actually perceive them. Say this aloud right now. I am the master of my focus. Let the vibration of these words rewire your mind. You must stop leaving your RAS on autopilot. The masses allow the media to program their filter with absolute terror. And because they look for terror, they find it everywhere. The builder refuses to let outside noise corrupt his biological filter. Carnegie did not know the biological term for this system, but he mastered its exact mechanism. He commanded his mind to focus solely on expansion. He ignored the noise of the drifting masses. He surrounded himself with a mastermind group that protected his frequency. He was ruthless about what he allowed to enter his sacred mental space. You must do the same. Every time you entertain a thought of failure, you are misusing your RAS. You are training your brain to hunt for your own destruction. The universe is incredibly abundant. There is more money and opportunity flowing right now than at any point in human history. The only reason you are not claiming it is because your filter is tuned to the wrong station. You must retune the dial. You must command your brain to start hunting for victory. The sovereign commander does not hope for a good day. He programs his brain to extract absolute greatness from the day, regardless of the external conditions. He turns his brain into a heat-seeking missile aimed directly at his definite chief aim. He never misses his target. This is how you collapse time. This is how men like Ford and Edison achieved, in one lifetime, what should have taken 1,000 years. They did not have more hours in the day. They simply had an optimized biological filter. Their minds were purged of all doubt. Their internal engine room was completely aligned with the loud commands of the conscious captain. Are you beginning to see the massive power you hold? You are not a victim of a bad economy. You are a victim of an unmanaged RAS. But the beautiful truth is that you can rewrite this programming starting tonight. You have the power to delete the old software. You can install the mindset of a titan and force your brain to scan for unlimited prosperity. You are literally a walking magnet. Your brain is the most advanced supercomputer in the known universe, and you have been using it to run programs of poverty. That stops today. You will no longer accept the scraps left behind by the drifting masses. You are going to take the wheel. You are going to point your supercomputer directly at your ultimate vision. The architect of destiny understands that belief is not a passive state. Belief is an active, aggressive, biological command. When you believe something with absolute certainty, your RAS builds a bridge to reach it. It connects the invisible thought to the physical reality. It is the bridge between the spiritual realm and the heavy material world around us. You must treat your mind with the reverence of a holy temple. You would not allow a stranger to walk into your house and throw trash on the floor. Yet you allow strangers to dump their fears into your mind every single day. The 1% defend their mental borders with lethal force. They know that a corrupted mind will eventually destroy a physical empire. Think of the immense responsibility this places on your shoulders. You can no longer blame anyone else for your current struggles. It is entirely on you, but this is not a burden. This is the ultimate freedom. If you created your current mess through poor programming, you can easily create an empire through precise mental discipline. You hold all the keys. Now let us make this practical. You know the law and you understand the biology. But protecting your energy is only step one. Now you must learn how to multiply it. The time for theory is over. We must now step into the laboratory of your mind. Now comes the turning point. You now know the biological mechanism. Knowledge without aggressive execution is completely worthless. The drifter reads 100 books and changes absolutely nothing, while the creator takes one single law and builds a massive empire. Which one are you? It is time to step into the laboratory of your mind. We are going to install the mental protocol of the 1%. This is simple but highly demanding. You must take absolute dominion over the last 15 minutes of your day. This is the sacred night ritual. Your subconscious mind is completely wide open just before you drift into sleep, and it acts like a massive vault with the doors temporarily unlocked. Whatever thoughts you place into the vault during this window will multiply. They will grow rapidly while you are unconscious. The drifter spends these 15 minutes scrolling blindly on his phone. He absorbs the endless chaos of the world. He watches violence, and he reads the angry arguments of strangers. He takes this digital poison, and he hands it directly to his subconscious mind. He is literally commanding his internal contractor to build a reality of deep anxiety, and he wonders why he wakes up feeling utterly exhausted. You will never do this again. From this night forward, you must practice cosmic housekeeping. You will shut off all screens 30 minutes before you sleep. You will cut off all contact with the external noise, because you are the mental gatekeeper, and you must seal the perimeter. The world does not get to dictate your final waking thoughts. You command them. Once the noise is gone, you will take out a physical pen and paper. You are going to write down your definite chief aim. It must be one single clear objective. Do not ask for 10 different things. A laser beam cuts through solid steel because it focuses all its light on one microscopic point. Write exactly what you demand from the universe and the exact date you expect to acquire it. Say this aloud. Let the vibration of these words rewire your mind. I am the architect of my destiny. When you read your definite chief aim, you must not read it passively. You must read it with absolute violent conviction. And you must generate the exact physical emotion you will feel when the goal is achieved. Emotion is the electrical charge that activates the biological protocol. If you only visualize the money but you feel anxious, you are transmitting fear. Your subconscious mind does not speak English. It speaks the powerful language of intense emotion. You must act as if the victory is already yours. Feel the heavy weight of the gold in your hands. You must convince your brain that the future event has already happened today, because the brain cannot tell the difference. This is the precise secret protocol that built massive empires. When you fall asleep in this state of absolute certainty, a profound biological shift occurs. Your subconscious mind works relentlessly through the dark hours. It searches your memories and it calculates unseen variables, and it begins to map out the exact sequence of physical actions you must take tomorrow. It becomes a tireless machine. What is controlling your mind today? When you wake up tomorrow morning, the old drifter will attempt to return. The old fears will immediately attempt to flood your brain. You will face heavy resistance because your brain is addicted to the familiar poison of poverty. You must meet this mental resistance with cold calmness. You do not panic when the negative thoughts return. You simply observe and destroy them. Whenever a thought of lack enters your mind, you must instantly replace it. If your mind says you cannot afford it, you loudly command it to find a way. You are training a wild animal. It will constantly test your resolve, and it will rebel against the new discipline. But you are the sovereign commander. You hold the whip, and you dictate the ultimate direction. You will not surrender your throne. Read your definite purpose morning and night. Treat this tradition as sacred. The drifter will attempt this protocol for 3 days, and then he will quit. He expects a sudden miracle, and he lacks the stomach for discipline. But you are a true builder. A builder knows that the foundation is laid in the dark, and it must be pounded into the dirt over and over again through relentless repetition. You must pound this new frequency into your mind until it becomes your natural state. You must practice this night ritual until the old version of you is completely dead. This is exactly how you recode the machine. This is how you shift from the victim to the unstoppable force. The physical world is incredibly heavy and it takes time to bend, but it will bend if your mental frequency never breaks. I command you to take this seriously. Do not just listen to my words and then return to your sleepwalking existence. You have been given the exact blueprint used by the 1%. The universe is watching you right now, and it is waiting to see if you have the iron discipline to actually execute the law. It will definitely test you with cheap distractions. It will test you with sudden, unexpected failures. Every failure is just a question. The universe is asking how badly you really want it. The drifter answers the question by giving up. The master of fate answers the question by doubling his intense focus, and he uses the sharp pain as fuel to burn the old identity to the ground. He walks through the fire because he knows the fire is forging his new reality. Now comes the turning point. You are standing on the edge of a massive paradigm shift. The ritual I have just given you is not a polite suggestion. It is the absolute law of mental dominion. You will execute this protocol tonight without making a single excuse. You will clear the space and you will command the emotion. You will hand the golden blueprint to your subconscious contractor and you will sleep like a powerful king. The time for drifting is officially over. You have been handed the master key to the architecture of your own mind. There are no more excuses left for you to hide behind. You cannot blame the economy. You cannot blame your past failures. The universe has removed your blindfold and exposed the absolute truth. Every single struggle you have faced was a reflection of your mismanaged thoughts. You must say to yourself that the old chapter is entirely finished. No more small thinking. No more playing the victim to circumstances you secretly created. No more letting fear write the dominant script of your precious life. The drifter inside of you must die tonight. You must execute him without a single ounce of mercy. The master of fate does not tolerate a weak mind. You have suffered enough. You have carried the heavy burden of failure for far too long. The drifter lives in a constant state of quiet desperation because he knows he is wasting his infinite potential. He feels the immense guilt of unfulfilled promises every single night. You know exactly what that dark guilt feels like. It eats at your soul. It completely drains your masculine energy. But tonight you stop the bleeding. You take the knife and you sever the invisible cords attaching you to the average masses. The 1% are not magically smarter than you. They simply refuse to tolerate a mediocre existence. They demand absolute greatness from their own reflection. You must look in the mirror tonight and make that exact same ruthless demand. You are one decision away from unstoppable momentum. You are one belief away from absolute clarity. You are one mental shift away from a completely new existence. But that massive shift will not happen unless you force it to happen. I am not asking you to change. I command you to make a final decision right now. Hesitation is the literal death of your destiny. Will you return to the chaotic noise of the sleeping masses? Will you close this video and immediately forget everything you just learned? The drifter will do exactly that. He will feel a brief rush of motivation and then return to his miserable mental prison. But you are not a drifter. You are an architect of destiny. You refuse to let a negative thought decide your ultimate future. You must draw a permanent line in the sand tonight. You must declare war on your own limiting beliefs. The world is waiting for a disciplined thinker. The universe is waiting for a conscious creator who has chosen to rise above the static noise and walk in supreme power. That unstoppable force is already inside of you. It is time to aggressively wake him up. Every time you feel the sudden urge to complain, you will bite your tongue. You will remember that complaining is the language of the defeated victim. You speak the powerful language of the Creator. The Creator speaks only of his clear vision and his inevitable victory. He aggressively starves his fleeting doubts and he constantly feeds his iron faith. This is the new standard. There is absolutely no neutral thought in this universe. Every thought is either pushing you forward or violently pulling you back. It is either moving you toward ultimate freedom or reinforcing your invisible bondage. The man who realizes this begins to treat his thoughts as powerful weapons. They are not toys. They are the exact tools he uses to bend reality to his iron will. You did not click this video by accident. You came here as a man exhausted by the endless drift. You were tired of playing the victim to a world you did not fully understand. But today you have remembered exactly who you are. You are the mental gatekeeper of your sacred thoughts. From this night forward, you act independently of fleeting motivation. You are a true builder in the invisible season. Stand up right now. Claim your rightful throne. You are the sole creator of your reality, and the physical world has no choice but to bend to your highly disciplined mind. You must break free once and for all from the heavy shackles of negative thinking. Your mind is the ultimate gateway. Your thoughts are the key, and your destiny is waiting just on the other side of this exact moment. So what will your legacy actually be? Will you be remembered as the man who allowed silent doubt to completely define him? Or will you be remembered as the sovereign commander who looked fear directly in the face and said, "No, the choice belongs entirely to you"? But you must make it before you sleep tonight. You cannot carry the old poison into a brand new day. The time for passive consumption is over. You have heard the ultimate law. You now know that every excuse you have ever made was nothing but a dark shadow. Tonight, as you close your eyes, you must make a final choice. Will you return to the chaos of the masses? Or will you step into the quiet, immense power of the 1%? If you are truly ready to command your destiny, you must act. Seal your decision right now. Write your definite purpose in the comments below. Let those specific words be the iron contract you sign with the universe. Do not type them passively. Type them with the absolute certainty of a king issuing a royal decree. Subscribe to this channel if you walk this disciplined path. Join the exclusive ranks of those who outright refuse to drift. This knowledge is incredibly heavy. It will not serve you if you hear it only once and let it fade into the noise of tomorrow. The subconscious mind requires relentless repetition to build a completely new world. Therefore, I command you to return to this video every single night. Listen to this exact lesson again and again until it is permanently installed in your biological brain. Play it as you fall asleep. Play it as you work in the dark. Make these powerful principles the only voice you tolerate in your head. Protect your new frequency at all costs. Never again let a negative thought decide your future. Your new life officially begins in this exact moment. Command your mind, build your massive empire, and never look back.